Okay, so this is going to be a very quick repair video of Fatshark Predator V2 goggles which have the grey or white screen issue. This will go for any Fatshark goggles which have the same problem. When you have a grey or white screen with no static, it's going to be one of two issues. It's either going to be the internal receiver module or the LCD driver which is housed inside. The way to tell is by switching the internal receiver off, which will be one of two directions on that switch. I'm not sure which one it is. If you still have the grey screen with no static in both switch positions, that means your LCD driver is knackered. If in one position you have static, and then that means if you plug something into the auxiliary in, you'll actually get a picture, that means your receiver's failed. In the case of these, it's grey either way, and that means the LCD driver's failed. I contacted Fatshark and they have sent me an LCD driver board. Delivered, it was about £34, which is a bit of a pain in the bum for Predators. If you have slightly nicer goggles, it's more worthwhile. But let's get them fixed so they actually work. That'll be nice. Teardown's really simple. First thing you need to do is remove the eye pockets, which is easy to get them off. Putting them back in is not so much fun. You can almost do it one-handed. Unplug them. Now, on the bottom of the goggles, you'll find two screws. Posi drive screws. One there and one over here, which is recessed. So you'll need to use a proper screwdriver, not an interchangeable head screwdriver. And then the case, the encasement's held together with a bunch of tangs, which once this has been assembled at the factory, it's not really meant to come apart, but it should do. If you just prise it with your fingernails, don't pull it too tightly because there are wires inside which hold the top and bottom sections together. There we go. So the top and bottom sections are held together with some wires. If you pull too tight, these black wires in the middle here, you'll rip them apart. So don't pull too tight. So if we open the unit up, you will be able to see this is the receiver unit. Now, we don't know if that's working, but we'll assume it is. You can actually go in here and you'd be able to replace that with a 1.3 unit if you wanted to, or a different 5.8. That is the control circuitry, because if you remember on the back there are buttons. These, encased in black plastic, are the LCD displays and the optics, not adjustable on the front. And then on top here, with power going in, that's the LCD driver board that is knackered. Now, in the centre, where's the pointy device? In the centre there's one screw. You'll need to unplug power to the right. You'll need to unplug these ribbon cables and power to the left. And this Molex connector here. That's really simple. Apart from these ribbon cables, they have these little black plastic levers. They must be levered up, just like this, before you pull out the ribbon. Don't pull it out with a scalpel. That would be retarded. Don't do that. Pull them out with something not sharp, because they're really fragile and you don't want to break those, because then you're knackered. Molex, power cable, there. Right, I'll be back once I've removed this. Right, okay, that's really hard to do one-handed. So there's the removed board, here's the new board. There is no difference, there's been no revisions or anything, and the old board has no indications as to why it's failed. Nothing looks black, nothing's exploded. I've got no idea why that's failed. But that's scrap now. Do not lose the tiny screw. that retained the board into this centerpiece here, because you'll need it. Putting this back is exactly the same as the way it came out, so I'm just going to put it back. Again, be really careful with these zebra strips because they're essential to the operation. So I'm going to put this back, and then we'll see if it works. Okay, so not to be super dumb, before reassembling it, I turned it on. We have imagery in the right hand lens. Nice, you can see my fat fingers there. Nothing in the left. Still got that white screen. What I'm assuming is that I've got the zebra strip just a little bit wrong. That's some great camera work. So I'm going to prod around with this to see if that makes it any better. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. Prod it, it works. Don't prod it, it goes away. I'm going to try and sort that out before I reassemble it. Okay, so now they're all reassembled. The only difficult part of reassembly was the eyepieces, surprisingly. They've got these little tabs inside. You need very small, delicate fingers to press the tabs back in, and that's a skill I'll never possess. But we now have video in both the left and right lenses. You can bash them around and you still have video. They work great, they're all ready to FPV. The fix took 10 minutes, so if you have a grey or a white screen, don't be afraid. Get in touch with Fatshark support. That's the only place you're going to get the replacement LCD driver board for these. But order one up, it'll get sent to you within a couple of days, and fix them. Okay, good luck. Any questions? Down there.